But yeah, this is The Bodyguard, 1992, with Kevin Costner. And I'm almost done writing it on the board, and it's done. Okay, let's put this up here so we can have people will know what I'm talking about when they come in. The Bodyguard. All right. So people that don't know what this movie is, I feel like most people do, but it's pretty old now, so some people might not. The Bodyguard, 1992, Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. Kevin Costner is playing a bodyguard that is protecting celebrity Whitney Houston, who's playing Rachel Marin, but she's basically playing herself. Rachel Marin is getting death threats from, I'm not going to ruin the ending, but from someone, getting death threats from somebody, and Kevin Costner, and there's been explosions and shit. Someone apparently snuck into the house and jizzed on a bed at one point. There's this, shit went down, and Kevin Costner was then brought in to deal with the situation. That's the basic plot. It's with Kevin Costner dealing with Whitney Houston being a princess, basically. She's being a brat, and Kevin Costner's just trying to make sure she doesn't die. But then, of course, there's also the romance between Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, and I thought there was going to be more of that. And don't get me wrong, there's a portion of that, but it's much more about their relationship and him protecting her from this terrorist or creepy fan or whatever, sending her these death threats. Bodyguard. Did I spell it wrong? Is it wrong? Is it wrong? Should it be the U first? Oh, did I spell it wrong? I think I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Oh shit. Is it Bodyguard? That's how I spelled it? Cute. Yeah, okay, I gotta change it. I spelled it wrong. And the funny part is, I spelled it right in the description, in the title. But that's okay. This is a quick fix. I'm just gonna change these two letters. Lickety split. And then we'll get back on track. Thanks for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for being here, y'all. Much love and appreciation. Dylan was here earlier, my brother. He said we were too loud and then he left. I hope we're not still too loud. I mean, we're just talking now, but we were playing guitar for a bit. Dylan, am I too loud? Just yells, am I too loud? The Bodyguard. Anyway, there's The Bodyguard. Finally properly spelled, I think. I gotta go hassle the Norwegian. He's referring to my mom. Okay, Dad, take care. So we still talking about this movie, Bodyguard. Well, we really just started talking about this one. But yeah, Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. So, like I said, Whitney Houston's a very bratty superstar, and she's used to living her lifestyle, her way. I don't think she does a bad job of playing herself. One of my friends said that he thought that Whitney Houston is not a good actor, but she hasn't acted in much. This is one of the few things she's acted in, and I think this is her debut role. It was a good choice, considering she's basically playing herself. And honestly, I think she does a decent job. And people who know me know that I'm not a big fan of Kevin Costner's acting. I don't think he's that good an actor. He's sort of like Wooden or boring or something. I think Whitney Houston is on par or debatably better than him. I said it. I'm going there. But The Bodyguard, I'm looking it up on IMDb. We're going for it. What do you say, IMDb page? But yeah, Siskel and Ebert both gave this thumbs up when it came out, and generally people loved it. It popularized the song I Will Always Love You, which I talked about was originally written by Dolly Parton earlier. But yeah, Dolly Parton wrote it, but Whitney Houston made it famous, that's for sure. Okay, The Bodyguard, 1992. I just clicked on it. Here it is. Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston, absolutely. This is the one. So let's talk about some of the other actors in this. So this guy called Mike Starr, he plays a character called Tony. Let's talk about Tony real quick. So Tony's like the pre-existing security, and he doesn't really like things to change. He grows to respect Kevin Costner later on, but the way they do that is weird to me. There's a point, like the famous scene I'm going to talk about. I don't think this is spoiling anything, because people have probably seen this parodied like I have, even if you hadn't seen the film, with Kevin Costner picking up Whitney Houston and carrying her. But I guess while this is happening, he leaves Tony and a lot of the other guys on Whitney Houston's team at the venue. And Tony's understandably, honestly, kind of pissed. And they don't really talk about that. That's another point that I want to make, that I was kind of like, what the fuck's up with this? Also, if anyone wants to talk about this movie, if G-Bergs or anyone's watched this, wants to, screen button. If anyone wants to talk about this, come onto the Discord in the Movie Talk channel, and we can. Discord, why did that not work? Let's do it again. Oh no, it worked, it just took a little while. Carly Elwes, I don't think I'm saying that right, roasted this Robin Hood hard. Roasted his Robin Hood hard? I'm a little confused. I'm sorry that I don't know what you're saying. Robin Hood. You talking about penis? I'm a little confused. Alright, Kevin Costner. That's right. Okay, moving on though to I Have the Bodyguard. So I want to talk about Tony, and I did sort of how he's just understandably mad that he's left at the club after this. And then he goes and tries to like attack Kevin Costner instead of talking about it. And there's no words, except for at the end I think Kevin Costner says something. But Tony just starts like trying to kill Kevin Costner basically because he's mad. And then Kevin Costner beats the shit out of him because he's the best in the biz or whatever. And Tony just eventually starts to respect him because he beat the shit out of him, and I guess that works enough. But I think it would have been better if they just would have talked about it. I don't know. It would have made more sense to me. It was kind of a fun fight scene, but it was unnecessary to me. Carrie Elwes. Oh, okay, I've really actually not seen that movie, but I know what that is. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Sorry, thank you for clarifying. But yeah, I'm going to keep talking about The Bodyguard though. So, Whitney Houston, I talked about her acting, I talked about how I don't really like Kevin Costner's acting in general, but I did like this movie more than Dances with the Wolves. It's more to my tastes. I like movies to do with music, and this obviously has to do with music, Whitney Houston and all that. And it's a little short. It still runs a little long. It's like 2 hours and 11 minutes or something like that. But it's not bad. I enjoyed this considerably more than Dances with Wolves. But again, Dances with Wolves isn't a bad movie. It just wasn't for me. Oh no, don't worry at all. Don't worry. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out, Old Man Desert Ninja. And in that movie, he says, unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent. Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry, Bodyguard on. That's right. Bodyguard. So, Kevin Costner is the bodyguard, if you were unaware. And also, there's these other movies. I think there's one called, like, with Ryan Reynolds, correct me if I'm wrong, there's, like, The Bodyguard and The Hitman's Bodyguard and, like, The Hitman's Bodyguard Wife or something. I'm getting those titles wrong, probably, but people might know what I'm saying, what I mean from saying that. And I was super confused. I thought that maybe it was related to this, like those were the reboot or something, but I think they're just completely unrelated, right? Thoughts, concerns, questions. In fact, we can maybe look it up. The Bodyguard. What's the other one's called? The Bodyguard's Wife? Or something? I don't think it's related at all, but I still kind of want to look. Thriller series. Is this something different? No, it's a British TV series. That's completely different. Bodyguard movies. Let's just check this out real quick. I'm curious. Okay, so there's another film. It's called Bodyguard, but it's 2011 Hindi film. I don't think it's related at all. Anyways, back. Let's just keep talking about this movie. Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to give away any of the ending or anything. There's things that didn't make sense to me. And I don't think I won't get into everything, but I'll try to name one or two. I already named one, I think, with Tony fighting Kevin Costner for basically no reason. But another thing that I wanted to say is this guy Sai. So let's talk about Sai. Sai's another character in this movie. He's sort of like the manager, and there's a few things with Sai that don't make sense. Number one, why, like, he sort of says he doesn't want to worry her, but it's still super stupid that he doesn't do it. He doesn't explain to Whitney Houston that they've been getting these threats, that someone even broke in and jizzed on her bed, like things that you think she should be aware of. She just doesn't get told, and then Kevin Costner's like, she's got to know, tell her about this shit, understandably. And then he doesn't tell her the shit, and Kevin Costner should have checked to make sure he told her the shit, or told her about it himself. So that part didn't make sense to me. Like, if someone jizzes in your bed, you should be told about it, you know? Common decency. You know? Anyways. How is everybody doing? It's happy Friday. But yeah, Sai's kind of a bullshit character. And then there's a point in the movie where Whitney Houston's willing to do anything Kevin Costner says because she's clearly in peril. Things are exploding. She's clearly, people are trying to kill her. So she's like, I'll listen to you, Kevin Costner. And he's like, get rid of this guy. Get rid of Sai. And she does for like a bit, but then he just comes back. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. He says, give the other guys just a days off. But it's like, but get rid of this guy completely. So it's like, yeah, get rid of Sai. Fuck that guy. But then he comes back, and it's like, what? Doesn't make sense to me. And of course, the film at the end, it leads up to the Oscars, because she's nominated for an Oscar. And I already talked about the I Will Always Love You song, so I won't get too deep into it. Honestly, we can probably start to wrap up this review. Kevin Costner, and get into the rap music soon. But for now, we're in the talk shows and podcast section, and we're having a good time. But yeah, no, The Bodyguard, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. I definitely enjoyed it more than Dances with Wolves. Kevin Costner is just kind of a boring leading man, in my opinion. He's kind of plain. His acting style is boring. It's like, this is my Kevin Costner impression. Hi, how are you? Oh yeah, we're doing well. Like, it's just, like, people maybe talk like that sometimes, but it just, there's like little to no inflection a lot of the time. I don't know. I really don't like Kevin Costner's acting. I'm sure maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe he's not a nice guy. I don't know. I feel like he's a nice guy, but I don't really know. I feel like I'd like to have a cup of tea with him, but not watch. I don't really like his acting. But again, this is maybe my favorite movie that I've seen with him. That's not saying a lot. I've only seen this, Waterworld and Dances with Wolves. So yeah, this is my favorite out of those. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. I love you. Kevin Costner, indeed. But yeah, The Bodyguard, like I said, it leads up to the end. Well, I don't want to ruin, but yeah, the Academy Awards. There's a sort of twist, but I don't want to ruin anything. I'll just be vague and say there's some sort of a twist. But I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say that's it for this review. I generally liked it, but it was just sort of alright. But yeah, I have to really hate something to give it below 5. I like to make that clear to people, because often people think that I rate things too high for how I talk about it. But I'm going to give this straight up just 7. I'm feeling 7 for this. 7 out of 10. It's dumb, but it's got some fun. It's a little bit dumb. Not as dumb as Space Invaders. There's some parts that are dumb. Like, it's very cliche. That's what I mean by that. But it's not a badly made film. And you can see why there was so much buzz for Whitney Houston. I do think she did a decent job in the role. And the song, I'll Always Love You, became a huge hit after that. I'm going to put on a beat. This is sponsorship song Instrumental by Patrick Jenkins. But yeah, The Bodyguard, 7 out of 10 dogs. It was alright. It's on Tubi if you want to check it out for free on that streaming service. But yeah, 7 out of 10 dogs. The Bodyguard, Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. It was okay, but not great. Could have been better. No boobs. That's not why. That's not why. But you know, no boobs. That was just something I wanted to say real quick. That's not why I'm giving it 7/10, but I did kind of like it. It was alright. I often talk about if there's boobs or not in the movie. I didn't say that, so yeah, 7 out of 10. And for The Bodyguard, 7 out of 10 dogs. Woo.